So hold
Here
on
we
one second.
are.
Hold on. Yep,
Cody
one
will
sec.
be
My
right
thing.
back. He's got dog things to attend to.
Dog things.
Yeah, I think they're called dogs.
They're called doggos, and they're adorables.
Tim, welcome.
Mm.
Cody's doing that. I'm Justin.
Anka.
I'm here not having technical issues anymore, hopefully. We'll see if my internet can keep up.
Yeah.
Cody's not even going anywhere.
No, the dogs aren't letting him leave. He's like, I gotta let the dogs out, but the dogs won't let him out.
Unfortunate.
That's the secret.
Tim, how's it going?
It actually literally looks like what's happening. It's going great. I'm just fascinated by this. The dogs are just like pinning him in.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And he can hear everything I'm saying. Just making fun of him.
I know.
Waiting for him to turn around and flick me off. So what you been playing this week, buddy?
Oh, I've been banging my head against an enemy in Elden Ring, which is the usual. But other than that, Sea of Thieves has a lot of cool shit going on right now.
Which enemy has you so perturbed?
Have you heard of Malekith the Black Blade?
I have not, but that sounds amazing.
He's an asshole, dude.
That's a great name, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a really cool boss. He is definitely a beast, dude. But
have you technically beaten Elden Ring at this point?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm at 250 some hours, and no, I have not. I did find a really cool optional boss. My friend was trying to guide me to Malekith, and I went this other way and found a boss that he has never seen. He's like, "What the fuck?"
That's the best.
That's Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's the best part of Elden Ring.
Yeah, I actually.
Like, hey, I think I know what I'm doing. I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing.
For real, dude. There's just so much. It's so dense. And that was a fun boss fight. I beat that one today using my tried and true method of I don't know what to call it. It's like a hunter build. I just take my big ass jar cannon +10, and I summon someone that can face tank the boss for me while I just sit in the back line and just shoot it. Very satisfying.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, Timmy?
A lot of things. I haven't like sat down and sunk a lot of time into anything. I've played a little bit of a lot of different games. Like I was playing this game called Horizon Chase Turbo, which is like an old school like arcade racing game the other day. I played a little bit of Other Side, which is like it's a turn-based strategy game is the only way I can describe it. It's a ton of fun. I actually would highly recommend checking that one out if you haven't. I've played a little bit of Mortal Kombat, some Shining Force, a little bit.
Dude.
Elden Ring, Wesnoth, Risk. I've played a little bit of a lot of things.
Speaking of Shining Force, Tim, I was listening to my like Spotify Discovery queue or whatever, and it was like right after I started playing Shining Force for the first time. There's like a some remix that just came out. That was like one of the Shining Force battle themes, and I was just like, "Yo, so
that's
cool.
Dope." I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, like I've been playing a lot of things using either my Kishi or my Razer Jungle Cat, just trying to get myself like more used to just playing PC games handheld. Because I want my damn Steam Deck.
Still isn't here.
Mine is with no Steam Deck order.
Brutal.
I ordered like 20 minutes after Cody or something, and the difference in terms of like when we can put our orders in is apparently like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's because there's like 1 million orders per minute.
It's ridiculous.
What it feels like, honestly.
Yeah.
It does feel that way. Like I'm very curious as to what the actual numbers are for how many units they're shipping. It's at least in the hundreds of thousands already. It has to.
Sure.
It has to be.
Yeah, it would be really interesting to see those numbers.
Well, we're gonna get into this later, but obviously, I've been playing the Steam Deck,
and it's not broken.
No, it's not. Yeah, so I did a factory reset. Just went, here it is. I'll turn it on real quick. Yeah, there it is, and it's working.
I'm still waiting for them to replace big picture mode with that UI. So when I'm like laying there with my Kishi pretending that it'll actually look like a damn Steam Deck.
Yeah. I will say, you know what I realized playing on this? So I've played like a bunch of different games recently because I've really been testing the fuck out of this.
Mhm.
You know what reminds me of Elden Ring before Elden Ring? That
Dark
I don't
Souls?
know.
Outward?
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, absolutely.
I had never thought about that, but I saw it in like my library and I was like, this is a perfect handheld
Oh, it
game.
totally
On
plays
the
like
on
a Monster Hunter or a Souls thing. Yeah.
right, and that's kind of what it is. That's what kind of what it made me think of. The reason why I think it's a little bit closer to Elden Ring is just kind of the tone of the game. You know what I mean? Monster Hunter is like Jurassic Park tone, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's like
way
really
over the
big
top.
shit. You know what I mean? And then you have Dragon's Dogma, which is like a little bit more depressing everywhere, and that's basically
That's
what
Elden
Elden Ring
Ring.
is. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyways,
I I also would just like to point out that like I've been trying to play Monster Hunter Rise. I've been trying to. And I don't know if it's just the fact that I don't like my Switch or if it's just the fact that the dialogue in Monster Hunter they do the MMO thing where like there's like this big ass line of dialogue and the character you're talking to just goes, "Hmm." I fucking hate that.
yeah,
I hate that so much. It
yeah,
drives me insane. It makes it so hard for me to get into the game that I'm
right.
like I've played maybe 45 minutes of it and I really want to like it because I watch all these videos. I'm like the combat looks so cool, but there's so many things about the game that like I just it it should jive with me and it just doesn't quite.
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah,
wondering if I buy it on PC if it would
probably
work
because it
a
runs
hit a
at
little better.
60 frames per second compared to 30.
Well, then you could just play Monster
That's
Hunter
right. I like
World.
the Switch.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
think I hear Monster Hunter Rise's story is actually pretty decent.
Mm.
That's
other
kind of
than the goddamn voice acting.
yeah. I mean, that's
The lack of
But
it.
yeah, I will say the game I did want to talk about briefly is what I've been playing. I downloaded Sniper Elite 5 and holy shit, that game fucking slaps. It's very good.
Ooh.
It's not open world, it's like open world sections, right? Where it's like very large areas that you can kind of go around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm playing on authentic and
Is that
so
like
it's
the hardest
basically
mode?
yeah, it's the hardest mode. Like the sniping's the most realistic and blah blah blah. The only reason I'm playing on that is because there is an achievement for beating the game on that. Um, and dude, like it's just a ton of fun. Like running around and stabbing people in the neck is a lot of fun. And they have like an RPG system in it now. So like
That's
you
cool.
can do these little like they're like commendations or whatever, but it's like you meleeed 20 or 10 people or something and
Mm-hmm.
you get a little bit of experience. And once you get enough experience, you level up. And there's three different skill trees you can get
Oh,
or whatever. And one's like a medical skill tree, and one's like an ammo like supply skill tree, and the other one's like a focus skill tree, right? Well, the focus skill tree is totally useless on authentic because focusing is something that happens on your mini map, and on authentic you don't have a mini map. So
well, that narrows it
that's
down.
yeah. So you really only have two trees. Well, I do, right? That I'm gonna really try and put shit in. And so that's really cool. They have a system. I was telling Tim about this earlier, and he brought up a better example. But just like Deathloop, where a like a enemy Nazi sniper will come into the game, and you can have that on or off depending on what you want.
Like a Dark Souls
Uh,
invasion.
yeah, that's what I
Yo.
That was
compared it
his thing,
to at
and
first.
I was like, but when he was like, yeah, they can just kind of walk around, they can take up different sniping positions. I was like, oh, yeah, that's kind of like Dark Souls. It's also kind of like Deathloop.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the PvP setup in Deathloop.
So I like it and I don't like it at the same time. These are the reasons why. One, I like it because it really spices up when you're running around doing your like your PVE stuff, right? It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, there's another player here now. Like this is different, right? Especially because since they're a Nazi sniper, they can run around willy nilly.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. So if you fire, right, and not the NPCs hear you, like they're gonna come and fucking find your ass, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what they'll do. And so like you really have to be kind of like strategic about it and stuff like that. Um,
I love that.
yeah, it's super cool. The reason why I don't like it is because on Authentic, I don't have a mini map, right? So I can't pinpoint his position because you're supposed to pinpoint his position with focus. His or her, you
Oh.
know what I mean?
Mm,
Right? So, like, it's like kind of an over it's like an afterthought kind of thing that I don't think they thought completely through what
yeah.
because the majority of people probably aren't gonna play an Authentic in general,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so
Can you turn off the PvP?
yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
And I actually ended up doing that because the PvP mode is so popular right now. I was getting invaded like every 5 minutes
Oh wow.
or whatever. And so eventually I was like, okay, I want to beat the level at some point. Like
Yeah.
I kind of I I know they won't do this, but it'd be kind of a bit cooler for me if it was like you could only get invaded like twice an hour or some shit like that because
Some
these
kind of
things can go on
cooldown.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go on for a long time. Really is kind of what it boils down to. So yeah, it's cool. I played a little bit of multiplayer. If you've ever played Sniper Elite multiplayer, it's the same thing. You know, but it's just fun. They got a lot of stuff in there,
Is
and it's
this
on Game Pass.
when
So
did this come out? Is this like brand new?
yeah, it
Oh
came
yeah,
out on the
5 just
25th.
came out. Yeah, a couple
Nice.
days ago.
Yeah,
Game
yeah.
Pass,
So
So I was playing a little bit on this earlier, and by the way, somebody walked in the other day, and this is just my phone, just so people know these are just Razer controllers that I bought that it has a custom case. But my phone was just sitting there on the back counter like this at work, and my phone rang, and I picked it up, and I answered it, forgetting that the controllers were on there.
Yeah.
And one of my customers was there. It was a regular, and like he was like, "Did you just answer that switch?" I was like, "Oh no, that's just my phone."
Oh,
And then I
that's
had
funny.
somebody else come in that's come into the store a few times that like knows that I'm waiting on my damn Steam Deck. They're like, "Oh, your Steam Deck finally came," and I was like, "Oh no, it's just my Note 9, which I made look like a Pip Boy, which doesn't really show up very well on camera." But, like I changed the setting. Have you guys checked the images thing yet?
Yeah, I did see that. Looks good.
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, nice.
It's dope.
Beautiful.
I want to get a wrist mount for it
Wait,
so I can actually pretend it's
is
a damn
Cody
Pip Boy.
muted?
Yes.
I am muted. I don't know why. I must have.
No one knows why you were muted.
Look,
Sorry,
at
you had to
least this
answer your
time-
Switch real quick.
At least this time we know I was actually muted instead of the one time I was going through my webcam microphone
yeah.
without realizing it a couple weeks ago. Fucking Jesus
Yeah. That happened to me a few
Tragedies.
weeks ago too, where I was going through my headset cam, and now that you're mentioning that, I'm gonna just double check. Oh no, I'm good.
Oh, you sound good.
Oh man. Well, I missed last week, so I'm gonna be honest. I haven't had a chance to watch the VOD because life's busy and shit. But
Sorry, I don't remember what we talked about.
Life finds a way.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Anyways, but we have some topics this week. The biggest one being a huge win for Ravensoft software QA team, right?
Yeah, they did it.
Finally,
I love
yeah,
Ravensoft.
finally unionized. Or well, became the first company to ever unionize in the video game space.
Yeah,
And,
at least for like big USA studios. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
No,
it's just
aren't they the first one? Period.
I think they're the first one. Period. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think there's any international unions.
No, I would. Yeah, I don't think there is either. But anyways, yeah, it's just kind of a huge win there. Because it is. I find it funny that it's just the QA team and not like all of Ravensoft, right? Because I'm assuming Ravensoft
They're
is made
basically
up
a
of
QA
more parts.
studio at this point.
Oh, is that all they are at this one?
No,
I don't know.
that's like
Oh.
they get brought in. So they're owned by Activision, and they get brought in to do support and clean up on Call of Duty games. That's all they really do right now. I don't think they've done a game that they've like been the main devs since. Did they do Quake 4? Maybe Enemy Territory? Maybe Quake Enemy Territories?
Oh, I remember Enemy Territories.
That might be the last like Ravensoft fully developed start to finish game.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it is just a small part of like Raven Software, but we've already seen the positive effects, right? Because the rest of their team has been being treated way better already since they've been organizing.
Yeah, because they don't want them to unionize too. They're like,
Yeah,
oh fuck.
basically, right?
Do it. Do it.
Shit.
Hey, I technically work in the video game industry, kind of, sort of, not really. Can I be part of this union? No? Okay.
If you have a job,
cool.
definitely just start a union.
I have a job.
If you have a job. So yeah, I don't know. It's real big. And then also Phil Spencer came out and he
It's real
said,
big.
I mean,
Are you talking about that
peck.
big pecker again?
Hey,
That
he's talking
pigeon you
about that.
got?
Big pecker. They don't know that story.
No,
We're
they
gonna
don't.
get it. We're gonna talk about that.
Oh, we'll talk about
I'll
it
be
later.
right back.
We'll talk about the Steam Deck. No, Phil Spencer also came out and said that, hey, we're not going to challenge this, because Xbox is currently acquiring Activision and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
they had like
I think it's
big in studio meeting where they were just reiterating that again. So it's really good to see that.
Yeah, and I think it just shows the changing of the times, and Phil Spencer understands that. So, so yeah, I mean, it's good stuff, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely great to see that.
win all the way around for now. We'll see how this plays out in the future and all that kind of stuff. But you can hear me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes my mic's being a little fucking weird here,
Sure.
and it's not showing that it's always picking up an OBS. I don't
Okay.
know why. Hold on 2 seconds.
Yep.
I need my dogs to stop. Can you hear my dogs?
A little, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. Well, while we wait for them to get back, let me tell you about Sea of Thieves. There's a crazy thing going on right now. There's a murder mystery where a character has disappeared, and we found a skeleton with some of their clothes, and literally there are all these clues in the game, and we have to like go around and find them. Anyway, check it out. Sea of Thieves is great. Crazy shit's going on.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why the fuck my dogs were losing their mind, but apparently they were. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know. Good stuff is happening for QA teams and stuff like that. And it's just good to hear about. So,
Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for them. Really, you know what I mean? I'm really okay. Now I'm paranoid
About what?
whether or not my voice is getting picked up by OBS enough for it to be like, because it's like
Okay.
intermittent.
Yeah.
Where like it's picking up the majority
Maybe
of my sentences and it's like dropping out.
maybe OBS is on the wrong device.
Or
No,
maybe
I
you just need to check your noise gate.
Oh yeah, noise gate. La 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 la.
Tim, did you just grab that monster? Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Powered
Listen,
up.
I need this.
Gotta get that
You need this?
energy.
That NRG.
Yeah, union's good. It's good for people to have somebody looking out for them. You know where else it's good to have someone looking out for you? In team-based games where your friends can shoot and hurt you.
Oh
and
my
that's
god.
exactly what Ubisoft is doing. With the new season of Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft is implementing a preemptive friendly fire system. So, what this means is basically if you get like friendly fire penalties for shooting your teammates in the game, it will remember that you did that and basically put you into a state where you would just have reverse friendly fire on until you play like X number of games with no friendly fire penalties. Love it.
Okay.
Brilliant. Genius.
Yeah. Why is it taking like 2 decades for somebody to come out with this?
It baffles the mind. This
Yeah,
is such a
like,
great idea because how it was or how it is currently is, once you friendly fire a certain amount, there's like a threshold during the match where you will get reverse friendly fire activated. Like,
right.
it's like a vote option, I think. So like that's fine, but then whatever, next game they can just do it again and again, or like on a round by round basis sometimes. So
yeah,
that's a nice quality of life thing. Siege is still definitely kicking. I saw they're adding a new operator who has like this like thing that he rolls across the ground. It's like a smoke grenade that rolls, and it just makes like a whole opaque sheet this big green wall that like bisects rooms. And
Okay.
it's funny because everyone's like, oh, cool. So it's literally just the same ability as that one character in Valorant. It's really cool, but damn, this is literally the same color. Like, come on, Ubisoft.
Yeah, just straight. I mean, you look, when you're that big, you just rip shit off, right?
Yeah.
Look at
It's true.
Epic and Fortnite. They just steal shit from Apex.
Dude,
I'm still.
Fortnite
Yeah.
adds so much good stuff to that game. Oh my god. I
Yeah.
can't
It also
get
adds
over it.
so much stuff that's from other games.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
The whole Among Us thing.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
true.
sometimes the crossover becomes problematic. They've definitely had their share of faux pas out there. I forgot about this. So I was talking about the friendly fire thing. I was playing
Right.
Bannerlord the other day, and we're talking about we were playing on the battle server, right? And on the battle server, there's just like full friendly fire. You hit somebody on your team, they get fucked up. You can kill them. But on other game modes in Bannerlord, friendly fire is disabled. And so everyone on the server was like, hey, let's go play Siege. And I was like, I don't know. I don't like playing without friendly fire. So it's like, does Siege have FF now? And some kid in the chat was like, wow, boomer. FF means forfeit, you moron. And I was like, get the fuck out of here, you League of
first
Legends piece of shit.
Forfeit is one word.
Thank you.
What the hell?
Why you don't abbreviate one word as 2 letters? You the dumb.
I mean,
Am I a boomer? Is this what's happening?
yeah, we sound like boomers yelling about this. If I'm being
Does this
honest.
make any sense?
It's definitely a generational thing, I think, right? Like FF to me in gaming, that's friendly fire. That's what it means. But this person, I probably just like League of Legends or something was their game, you know? And FF is probably just shorthand for forfeit in that.
Wow, boomer. That's funny.
I know, dude.
That's
it is very funny. I definitely had a laugh at it.
Yeah. Well, you know, we are becoming boomers. That is definitely for sure. Or wow, I'm losing my train of
Okay,
thought
so
today.
I googled it, and what does FF mean? FF means fan fiction, friendly fire, forfeit, and Final Fantasy. Which that part we knew. but
Second place.
Second place behind fan fiction.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know,
So
Listen,
I'm
I can
surprised.
get behind fan fiction.
listen here, you young whippersnapper. Google says you're wrong.
Thanks, Boomer Tim.
Thanks, Boomer Tim. The
Boomer
fuck?
Tim.
It's gonna be a segment
Fuck
now.
that. Oh my god. Well, this isn't really boomer related. I wish it kind of was, but well, I guess it could be. Sony's a bunch of fucking boomers these days, right? With the way they handle their goddamn finances and stuff. Because Sony appears to have cracked down on people banking PS Plus memberships before the new system rolls out.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't. All right, I'm not totally read up on this. I'm just gonna
Okay,
throw that out
yeah.
there to start
Cool.
with. But from what it sounded like, is that this is what they were doing. They did have a thing earlier this week that I shared that they were like, hey, this was a mistake, and because this is just a rollout in Asia. But basically, what it was like, let's say you bought 12 years of PlayStation Plus at a discount, right? You just like stacked them, kind of thing. When if you tried to upgrade to premium, they were making you pay for the difference of the stacked amount, right? So whatever, you know, you got it for $45, and you know, I think PS Plus right now is $60 a year or some shit like that. So you'd have to pay that $15 like each additional year or some shit like that. Like it was just some ridiculous amount of money. Some people owed like thousands of dollars and stuff if they wanted to upgrade. And then they came out and they were like, "Oh, that was an error," and I'm highly skeptical that was an error. It sounds more like, and the only reason I feel like that is just because like, you know, the whole $10 upcharge and stuff for like new games, and like just they've been nickel and diming the customer base this whole generation. It's like since the PS5 release. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had actually thought this was a good idea and they went like, "Oh no, everybody hates us right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then kind of walked it back, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting because we saw this happening with Game Pass, right? You know, they're trying to phase out Xbox Live Gold. Right. And so people would just buy up tons of Xbox Live Gold and then turn it into like Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh, people are still doing it.
Yeah, it's still, Xbox hasn't stopped it. It's still a thing you can do.
At my store, we still sell gold cards. So like you can just get those, and yeah,
it's like just free upgrade almost.
Right.
So PlayStation, people were doing that with PlayStation, and over in the Asian market, they really seemed to shut it down really hard. And maybe that was just a test for them, and they were like, "Whoopsie, that was an accident."
Yeah.
Wow. Let's not do that in America. Holy shit.
Well, right. You know, and I kind of found it interesting that I really hope it was a mistake, right? Because it definitely could be. You know, like everybody has their like bumps in the roads with rolling out new technology and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It doesn't sound like it was a mistake. Just looking at
absolutely press X to doubt that it
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's interesting to say the least. And I apologize. I have a feeling that this podcast in general is going to be unsalvageable because Justin's roboted, and I am pretty sure there's something wrong with my OBS because I turned off my noise gate in Discord and I made sure it was off in NVIDIA broadcast, and I'm still only getting picked up like half the time on OBS.
No, it's still going to be salvageable. I'll just need Justin. Are you doing a local recording as well?
Me?
No, Justin.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So
it still might be. It's just
it
like
fine on my end.
Yeah,
right. I think you can
probably
hear it
fine.
I'm talking about the broadcast version.
No, like what I'm saying though is like if Justin's roboting to us, he probably won't be on Twitch because it's his internet connection.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's probably gonna be fine.
Yeah. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I don't know.
Too.
I'm really hoping that this comes out like the rollout is really good. I do think though that we're still going to see that for people like myself, I have normal PS Plus, right? That's going to roll over into the basic level of PS Plus when that comes out. What I think I'm going to have to do, I don't think they're going to allow me to test drive PlayStation Premium for a month. I think they're going to make you buy it for the entire extension of what you already have.
I see what you're saying. Like if you want to, if you're already in a subscription for like the year or whatever, you're not able to just upgrade for a month. You're going to have to upgrade your whole chunk that you have.
Yeah, I think because that's the other part of this that's been going on. Like they're making people upgrade for the whole chunk instead of just a month or 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is I'm not going to be a fan of that personally, just for the fact of I don't know if I'm going to like premium. So do I really want to shell out that money ahead of time? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So I'm very interested to see because I have a buddy of mine. He's actually my fantasy football commissioner. And I asked him, I was like, hey, when this rolls out to the US, let me know if you have the stacked issue that that's apparently fixed now. And then also let me know. And then I was going to be like, I'll let you know if I have the issue with like the upgrade in PlayStation Premium. Because I'll tell you one thing that they are winning with fucking trophies on PS1 games. Wild Arms, here I fucking come, dude. Like Siphon Filter, trophies.
Yeah,
the fuck.
Dude.
Like I'm here for it. Like there's things that they're doing that's right that I'm a fan of, right? And it kind of draws me to want to play that service. But God, I just feel like they're nickel and diming people to play it. Like, where's the $1 sub? Like, where's it at?
Oh,
that's what I know they're not, but they should. Like, you know, because they're rolling out it's a new service. People don't know how it's going to be. You know, so it's just
there's no way in hell that Sony's going to do that though.
They should though. That's all I'm saying.
No,
But no,
because
Sony.
it would break that virtuous cycle.
Oh
Oh
no.
my god, Tim is never gonna forget that.
No,
That was the
it's
worst
so
fucking
douchey.
thing ever.
It was.
Holy
It's
It
such
was
shit.
a
bad.
douchey thing.
It was bad.
PlayStation PR does not exist.
No, it does not. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I didn't consider that because, like, I definitely want to try it out, but I don't want to necessarily pay that premium for like the rest of my concurrent service that I have.
Right. Because as of right now, until I know what premium is right. I don't know if premium offers enough for me to want to be premium all the time. Because I just don't play my PlayStation that often. I mostly play Madden on there, right?
Yeah.
And then I like to, like, if I hadn't bought the Elden Ring to play with y'all, I would have bought that for the PlayStation because that just like FromSoft just seems like a PlayStation company. It just seems at home, and that's where I would have got wanted to get those achievements and stuff like that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because I have buddies that play Elden Ring on PlayStation, but I was like, nah, like I'm gonna play with these guys. And stuff.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I'm gonna play with my bros. But anyways, yeah, like it's just kind of one of them things. So I'm excited, and I'm excited / cautiously optimistic to like try it. You know,
Yeah.
hoping for the best, expecting the worst at this point, kind of thing. So
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. And when it comes out next month,
I believe June, it's
Sometime
right
in
around.
June?
Yeah, isn't it June 13th? Isn't it
I
like
don't
the
think-
same day or a couple days within a couple days of the Xbox showcase? Because I feel like it is.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna Google it real quick.
Press X to I don't know.
IDK, my BFF Jill.
Trophies for the classic games. That's a smart move.
Right.
Makes me
it's a
sad
move.
that Nintendo still doesn't have anything like that.
What trophies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
awful that they don't have that.
Yeah, but it's Nintendo.
North and South America on June 13th.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Very
that's what I
soon.
thought. Yeah, it's going to be here in a couple weeks. So let's see. What
You know what else might be here eventually?
oh my god, I don't want this. I don't want
Another
Steam Deck?
edition for the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X coming out.
So this is something that I press X to out about personally.
I don't.
I do because they already have supply chain issues for what they have. And that really hasn't been alleviated. Because Tim still
no,
doesn't
that's
have.
gotten better.
Do you have a PS5 yet, Tim?
No, but I have.
You work
some to
in a game
sell.
store.
I have some to sell though.
Well, right, but
we've been getting them in like once a month now.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like they these are predicted. It does say 2023, 24 kind of thing. So it's like another year to like kind of like get this stuff together. But man, I just don't. You already have supply chain issues for what you have. It's had problems getting to consumers as is. I don't know. I think it's earlier. I wouldn't expect it until like 2025, 2026, personally. Not saying it won't ever happen because there's always going to be a mid-gen refresh, but I just feel like that's when it's more like likely to happen.
Yeah, I agree that is just like the world we live in now, like consoles getting refreshes after a while rather than just jumping to the next one.
Unless it's a Switch.
It got the OLED model.
That's a refresh.
I will hit somebody over the face with an OLED model Switch. That's fucking so much bullshit. God.
Big letdown. Big letdown. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Got a good screen.
You know,
I'm trying here.
You know, it has a good screen.
I can't always be hating on
this
Switch.
the fucking Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Like Steam Deck.
I watched a teardown video where the dude just like his whole YouTube series is just about like dismantling and like tearing shit apart. And seeing him dismantle a Steam Deck was both horrifying and very satisfying.
Well, the greatest thing about that is that the Steam Deck's meant to be taken apart. Because remember, they're partnering. I forget who they're partnering with, but they're partnering with somebody. So iFixit, so you can buy your own replacement parts. So you got stick drift, that's cool. Just buy yourself a new fucking stick.
God.
You don't got to send it in. I mean, anyways.
Wonderful.
But yeah, no, they're looking at their TCL technology is saying that those are going to come out, and those PS5 Pro and new Xbox would basically be better than my computer with a 3090 right now with their projected specs.
Yeah.
I mean that makes sense because it'll have, RDNA 3 most likely.
I personally don't believe that they're gonna for a mid-gen refresh. I don't think they're gonna put that much
If
money
it
into
wasn't coming from a TV company that is a legit company, I would be on your side on that. But these
I
are
mean,
also their internal projections, so this isn't like word of mouth coming from AMD. If it was coming from AMD, you
then
would
yeah,
know,
yeah,
but because they make the damn chips. But
right.
TV makers in Poland say this is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
I just doubt that they're gonna put that much money into it for a mid-gen refresh. Because like, look at if you look at the last generation, right? Like it wasn't even like the biggest draw for those was like the 4K edition.
Which was a
Like
whole new processor in order to achieve 4K.
right, but the processor didn't allow them to be better than the best graphics card on the market at the time, right? Like it just allowed you to run 4K.
But
You
that had
get
more to do with the fact that the processor, it came out when the 1080 Ti came out, right? No, when did 1080 Ti come out?
I don't know. I wouldn't know off the top of my head. Either way, agree to disagree because we're gonna go down a fucking rabbit hole here if we keep talking about it. But yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of weird projections in my opinion. But I mean, that's when they're projecting, so we could see it 23, 24, and then everybody should be able to get one because you want to know what? They should be cheap as shit.
But will I get one? No, because I'm going to have a fucking computer.
Right? Or you might have a Steam Deck. Totally worth it. I'm just saying. I'm just Justin, do you want to talk about what you were very excited about the other day though with the Gundam Game Fest?
I do. Bandai Namco has put on this little Gundam Game Fest where they showed off some new Gundam shit that's going on, and it's kind of slapped together. It's just like a long video presentation, I think. But I'm a big Gundam fan, and there's some cool shit. First thing they showed off was the most exciting thing: new SD Gundam game. SD stands for Super Deformed. They're like little chibi versions of all the Gundams.
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking micro SD.
Yeah.
Which I guess tracks chibi.
Yeah, it's basically the same deal. But yeah, so the SD Gundam games have been a thing for a while. There used to be like this cartoon SD Gundam, and it was like a very goofy kind of offshoot of Gundam. It's always had like a goofy, silly vibe to it. And this game's definitely falling into that. But the premise of the game, it's a primarily like there's going to be a single player campaign, and it's got mobile suits from all across the different series. So you've got your Gundam Wing, you've got your G Gundam, just everything kind of mingled together in this G universe, I think they call it, where it's just like a timeline where anything can happen. And the main things that I like about it, you're going to be able to upgrade your units. So there's like RPG stats, like you're going to be able to like take your suit that you like and increase its melee or its melee or like melee speed or shooting abilities, all that kind of crap, which I love. I love that. There used to be a Dynasty Warriors Gundam game. There were like 3 of them, and that me and the guys would play that all the time, just like maxing out our suits and shit.
You can I've been trying to find a copy of that for 360.
Dude,
you can still play the demo.
That game is a blast. I think the second one was my favorite. That was super fun.
I'm not saying that I just played the demo like 2 weeks ago, but you can definitely still play the demo.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's cool. The campaign is really cool looking. Their premise is they're taking like iconic battles from the anime and like twisting them somehow. Like instead of like this character being there, it replaces it with like a character from another series that shouldn't be there. So I think that'll be really interesting. And then another thing that was really cool about it is there's going to be cooperative multiplayer for up to 3 players. So that's also just like super highly appealing for me. I feel like it's going to fill that niche of like the Warriors style games for me. Which
You're not gonna check out the Fire Emblem Warriors game?
You're not going to play Hyrule Warriors?
If Koei Tecmo makes any Warriors game and it's on the Nintendo Switch, here's a fact. If you play split screen co-op, it will lag, things will not spawn, and it will not be fun. So no, I'm never going to buy another fucking Warriors game by Koei Tecmo on the Switch.
I mean, that checks out, because have you seen how many NPCs are on screen in a Warriors game? Even going back to like PS2 Warriors games, the Switch can't handle that.
Dude.
It cannot handle that. It's a fucking phone processor.
Yeah, split screen just makes it not viable. But this looks like it'll run great. Very excited for it. So the new SD Gundam looks great. The other things they showed off, Gundam Evolution. So that's their Overwatch style game, but you're playing as Gundams. And that's another one where it's like they take mobile suits from like across different series and mash them together, which is a cool premise. But ultimately, I played the beta for this a few months ago or whatever. It's just like a B tier Overwatch clone. It doesn't feel Gundam-y. Yeah. Like, you just feel like you're zipping around, just like Overwatch. It just doesn't have that Gundam vibe that I'm looking for, which is kind of sad, but I'm over it, because I quickly got over it because I saw they were releasing a PC port of a great PS4 title called Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is a game that's been on PlayStation 4 for like ages. It's a free-to-play third-person Gundam game where you pilot your Gundam, you can get out of your Gundam. It's very like weighty kind of combat. Like you feel like you're really like trucking around in this big mecha. I absolutely love it. It is a gacha game, so you're spinning to get new suits, and that's kind of a grind, but the gameplay is very satisfying. So when I heard there was a PC release coming out, I was super excited, signed up for the beta. Day of the beta came around. It blew up and did not work, and everything went wrong, and they literally have said nothing about it since then. So when I saw Gundam Game Fest, I was like, oh, finally news, and I watched it.
No.
They literally didn't mention anything about the PC version at all. So I think it's dead. I think it's gone. It's not going to happen anymore. So
I hope you're wrong.
That's kind of a bummer.
They got their Steam page up still.
It's still there. They haven't said anything since April, but we'll see. I mean, I would love for it to come to PC so I don't have to play it on PlayStation anymore. That would be wonderful.
Now, I know that I've said this about a lot of games and a lot of like different fandoms and stuff. How I would love to have like a XCOM style tactics game for that, but like, dude, it would be so cool to have an XCOM style tactics game for a Gundam game. That's not like, there are tactics Gundams games, don't get me wrong, but like one that's more visceral, more like the anime, less chibi. Because there's a lot of them that are like in that chibi style.
Yeah, they have so many like phone games that are like tactics games.
Yeah, but I would love to have have do what fucking Marvel's doing and have Firaxis make one. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a game like that, BattleTech.
Yeah, BattleTech's awesome.
Might scratch that itch that specific itch that you're talking about. It's not
so,
one for one what you're asking for, but it's close.
BattleTech, I mean, for those who don't know, BattleTech is MechWarrior, same universe.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of does, but not quite.
Right.
I hear you.
I love BattleTech though. It's a good game.
It is. I've seen a lot of it. It's in my Steam library. It's something that I think I'm eventually going to play on the Steam Deck, but I just haven't gone that far yet. So
it's MechWarrior 5. Good game.
So
glad it's on Game Pass.
That's true. We have 15 minutes left. Do we want to hit these other ones, or do we want to talk about the sequels?
We got to talk about Gollum. That's our whole thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is the name of the title.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So, Justin, you want to talk about Gollum? Because I honestly feel like you're the most excited about Gollum.
So new Lord of the Rings game was announced a while back, and they're like, hey, we've got a new Lord of the Rings game where you play as Gollum. And everyone said, that's fucking weird. I'm really curious about it. And they came out with a new video the other day showing more of the game, and everyone was like, wow, this game looks like shit.
Yeah.
Everyone was just hating on the game. They're like, oh, that doesn't look like Gollum. That doesn't sound like Gollum. This game looks stupid. And they're all wrong. They're all so wrong. Because
I just
this
look
game
at it and
still
I go
looks
like
great.
it's a younger Gollum.
It doesn't. It's just a
But
different
it
art
doesn't sound
style.
like
It's just a different art style. And they didn't get the voice actor for Gollum from the movies because they're basing it on the goddamn books. It's not your Two Towers on the PS2.
Right.
It's not your Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. It's just some people taking the books and making something out of it.
Well,
Right.
and like, he's too busy voicing a character in Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate to be doing Gollum.
Exactly. The video looked cool. This game gives me real big like Styx Master of Shadows vibes.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got that cool kind of like not cartoony per se, but definitely not realistic art style, kind of like that Fable vibe. And you're sneaking around and they're like environmental hazards that you can definitely use to murder people. I like that. I like that kind of like stealth, like Hitman. You have all these props in the world that you can use to take people out different ways and figure out the levels. I like that. I also like that they're like coming up with their own original designs for things instead of just ripping off like what they look like in the movies. Because I've always hated that. That's always bugged me. Something about it is just like, ugh.
I kind of had hoped that they would put it more in the tie it. I know it's not the same devs, but it's the same publisher, so I was hoping that they would put it more into the Shadow of world.
Oh yeah.
But it's not. It's its own thing, and like I don't know. There are some scenes in it though where I look at some of the graphics, and it's a work in progress. It's not like it's coming out tomorrow, but like there are some things where I look at it and I go, that could look better. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
I hear you. Like you see the section where he's like crawling along the wall, and it's like, oh, this looks kind of boring.
Or like some of the foliage and stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks very last gen. And then some of the models look like fucking awesome. Like some of the character models do look great.
Mm-hmm.
But then like some of the trees and foliage, I go like that looks like it's from Two Worlds. Like it's not great.
Oh my god, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Please don't say that. We don't say that name lightly.
Listen,
you can say Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it's still better than Two Worlds. Okay, like.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it looks cool.
I will.
Don't shut it down yet. Give it time.
Here's what's pretty telling though is like you are in the extreme minority. The video that you linked has 8,400 views. It has 79 likes.
I think this is the problem, right? What's the point of the game?
You're Gollum, and it's his adventure.
Adventure for what? Like
I think it takes place from like him losing the ring and him getting the ring back. But and everything that he went through.
And so I didn't get a chance to watch that whole video, but when he's like before he knocks that helmet off or whatever, right? He's like, oh, the orcs are gonna find us and my precious or whatever. Like, so like it implies that he already has it. So I guess the reason why I have like no real interest is because it's like, what's the point? Like, why am I Gollum? Why would I play this game other than the fact that I'm Gollum, who, outside of like people who read the books, was a side character in a Lord of the Rings movie, right? Like he didn't play like a whole.
I'm sorry, did you just call Gollum a side character?
Kind of a big deal.
I mean, he is a side character. He's like fucking Dobby. I mean, that's like his goddamn equivalent. Like,
been in the chat with Kingdom Hearts, Gollum.
No.
Hopefully it'll be a little easier to understand.
Much more important than Dobby.
I don't feel like he is. Like not in Lord of the Rings. In The Hobbit, he probably is.
He's an integral part of the story.
He's less important in The Hobbit than he is in Lord of the Rings.
I haven't read the books, to be fair.
He's extremely important. Even in the movies, he's extremely important in Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. I
Like,
don't remember him being a huge important.
Two Towers and half of Return of the King in the movies are just about his relationship with Frodo.
Anyways,
that sounded weird.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from,
I mean,
Cody.
yeah,
You
it
know, he's not like an Aragorn, like or a like a
No.
Boromir, dude. Single player
Right.
Boromir game. Let's go.
Yeah.
Boromir's a side character.
But people still like Boromir, I feel like, more than Gollum. Like,
You're not supposed to
He gets
like
a bad
Gollum.
rap.
well, you can appreciate Gollum. I think they did cool things with Gollum or whatever in the movies and stuff like that. But like, I was never like, I want to play a video game about this dude. I want to know more about him.
That's exactly
No,
why.
I was like, that's but I'm just telling you, like, that's the problem, right? Is like nobody gives a fuck about Gollum. Like, that's just what it is. So that's like, it's cool. They're making a Gollum game. Nobody cares. Like, it's just.
Would you say it's like the equivalent of like someone making a Jar Jar Binks game?
Yes. I actually would. That's actually more apt than Dobby because Jar Jar
God.
Binks is all over in those movies or whatever. Or at least that first one. I mean, that's really what it is. And so,
Plot-wise, I'd say that's more. That's more
Yeah, he's
accurate.
better.
He's
briefly
much more
very
important than Dobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dobby's what I think of when I think of Gollum, but Jar Jar is probably a better comparison. But anyways, yeah, like who the fuck wants to play a game about Jar Jar? It's like cool. He's in the Star Wars Lego collection, right? Like it's cool. He's in there. Like yeah, Jar Jar.
Yeah, I unlocked him. I'm not playing as him.
Right. Like nobody wants to play as Jar Jar. Like it's just kind of how it is. So I don't know. I understand people's feelings. Unless they show me something that's gonna blow me away, like some mechanic. Like that was the whole thing with Shadow of War. It was like, okay, this is like open world Assassin's Creed or what open world Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But the Nemesis system, everybody, I was like, fucking right. Like, yeah, I want to play this game. Like, what's the draw other than Gollum? And there really isn't. And that's kind of where my problem is with the whole thing. And so
Well,
I'm not
it is
really
a
surprised.
WB game, so there could be a Nemesis system in it. Although I would feel like that would be extremely wasted.
That would be weird. Yeah.
The next game that I know is going to have the Nemesis system is Wonder.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think actually the Nemesis system could possibly like make Gollum better, right? Because they could be like, you know, like these guys that are trying to capture you, like the orcs and shit that are trying to capture you. If you get away and like they see you and you get away, like they'll remember you later. Like something like that would be like an interesting mechanic because you're obviously your first thing isn't going to be to fucking like go and stab him in the face like it is in goddamn Shadow of War, right? Like you're probably not going to have abilities and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. The last thing I'd say about it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The last thing I'd say about it is maybe their cool mechanic will have to do with that, like is kind of two sides fighting each other. Like, oh, we should run away. No, we should kill them. Maybe that'll be something neat. But we haven't seen a lot of gameplay.
Have a fable system for him that in the end doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. I mean, they could. I don't know. The last game that was like that, the Medium, people were not a huge fan of that, like opposite system thing that they had going on, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It's not the same, but I'm just saying that's probably the closest thing I can think of that would be similar to that, right? Where there's like, I don't know, because I don't know, was he going to get different moods depending on where his schizophrenia is at that day?
I
like,
don't know.
I
We're
don't
done with
know.
this game.
Yeah,
we've talked about it.
I'm
enough.
sorry. Is it Steam Deck time?
We did mention Jar Jar, so I just want to say, new teaser trailer just came out. Star Wars Jedi Survivor looks super cool. I don't know what's going on exactly in it, but I'm really excited to play it.
It reminds me. It keeps reminding me to play. Because isn't it the sequel to
Fallen Order?
Yeah, I've started Fallen Order like 4 or 5 times. Not literally, like twice, and I'll play it for a little while, then I fall off. And it's not bad. I'm just not a Star Wars nerd,
right?
Like, you know what I mean. So I feel like that's why I keep falling off of it because it's just not my franchise that I'm super into. Unlike Harry Potter, you know, if that wants to come to Game Pass, I'm just saying.
Yo.
Anyways,
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck time. Steam Deck. All right. So this has been this has been a very like up and down process for me. I don't know. Did you guys talk about my issues that I was having last week?
I think we mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, so having issues and stuff like that out of the box, really thought I was gonna have to RMA it. Um, I I didn't. So basically, they were telling me Steam support was telling me to do a bunch of random shit, and I was like, before I do all that, fuck it, I'm just going to factory reset because I just downloaded a couple games like that I hadn't even had a chance to play because it kept crashing on me basically, and I did that, and now it works. I don't know. I'm not fucking complaining, right?
Hey!
Like it works. And it is such a cool toy to play with. Um I feel like Tim was making fun of me earlier because he's like, "Now you're me." Because I feel like I'm experimenting with more like the limits of what I can do with it more than I'm playing on it, right?
Yeah.
Uh
He
Very
makes fun of
Tim,
me for
very Tim.
tinkering with stuff all the time and like making different things do shit that it's not supposed to do. And it's like, oh, this is so cool. But now he's doing it. He's like, this is so fun. And I'm like,
the,
you understand now.
no, no,
I
no.
probably do this more than I play games.
The difference is I'm not trying to ghetto rig my entire house. I'm just trying to see what I can
Not
do
ghetto rigged.
with my mobile PC that more than anything,
Put a
especially with
lot of money
Linux.
in what you're calling ghetto rigged.
I mean,
Okay.
it is kind of ghetto
It's
rigged.
very
You have
expensive.
a broken laptop for your upstairs computer. Like the screen doesn't work.
It's hooked into an external monitor.
You get what I'm saying. Like
Oh.
there is a lot of money there, but not all of it is up to snuff these days. Some of it is like 10 years old.
No.
How old is that laptop?
Like 20 fucking 19?
The laptop
Has a
is
20
broken?
Yeah, it has a 2060 in it. And a Ryzen 4800H.
We can do
The
a
one that's
cribs on
broken?
Tim's house
Yeah.
later.
Well, hold on. I'm squinting at you because I don't think we're talking about the same laptop. Anyways,
The
I'm
other
making-
one's not in use. The one that I bought forever ago, that one's dead.
Oh, that's the one I thought you were talking about.
I bought the one with the broken screen to replace that one.
Oh. Well, anyways, Steam Deck, very, very cool. Basically, I know I'm like kind of showing it off, trying to show it in the camera here, but basically, you got. I'm sure you guys know by now, thumbsticks, D-pad, face buttons, right? And then you got your 4 clicky clicks on the back.
Yes,
right?
dude.
It's, I would say my favorite thing about this is the fact that there is a fucking desktop mode. And it opens up so many possibilities, right? So you can switch to desktop mode whenever you want. This is me. I was looking at a website earlier on here. It's very, very intuitive. You can use this trackpad for the mouse or whatever. I can't see what I'm doing because it's like super bright. But basically, you can use this trackpad or this trackpad, depending on how you set it up, as a mouse, right? It's more natural for me to have it on the right side. But the really cool thing about this is that all you have to do, there's this thing called Discover Software Center, pre-installed on the fucking taskbar, and you go in there, you can get emulators directly out of there. So like RetroArch, Dolphin, the whatever the fucking Switch one is or whatever is in there. Like it's all built in, right? Same
Nice.
thing if you go straight to games. I was very excited when I saw this. Tim was not, but if you go straight to games, you can download Battle for Westnoth. Just right
Yo.
there. Yeah.
Wesnoth has a native Linux port and has like always. So I'm not
Right,
surprised by
but
that.
it's
cool
more
seeing
the
it.
fact that it's more the fact that you could just go in there and download. It's not through Steam. This is just through their little Discover software app kind of things. So I don't know. Like I thought that was cool. Tim did
It's
not.
cool. I mean, it's
He was-
fine. Like I'm not like, oh, that's amazing, because like I kind
You
of
can also
at this point.
download Rune Light.
Oh, I was gonna ask about
Albion
RuneScape,
Online.
dude.
Yeah, you can download Rune Light. You can download Albion Online. Like there's a bunch of stuff that you can just download on here, like right out of the gate. So even if you didn't have a Steam account, like you can still utilize this. They got Space Cadet Pinball.
If
Easy install.
if you're one of those weirdos that has a larger Epic library than you have a Steam library, you can download the Heroic Launcher and
Yep.
play Epic games on there.
Oh, wow.
Yep. You can do
And
that too.
GOG. Heroic Launcher lets you use GOG and Epic.
The hero
Yeah.
we needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can do that. What I've done and what I've been playing while we've been talking tonight, I downloaded Pokemon Revolution, right?
How dare you play games while we're talking?
Uh-huh. I haven't been able to
Down.
play it all
Ever.
day,
I don't ever do that.
but what this was kind of like one of the coolest things for me is like Pokemon Revolution is an online MMO of Pokemon, right? I downloaded it. I got it to run, right? I didn't have to it has a Linux version, so I didn't have to like run it through Proton or anything like that. Got
Mhm.
it running, and then I booted it up and it wasn't recognizing any of the controls, right? And so I added it to Steam as a non-Steam game. I went back into the game mode, right, from the desktop mode, and I was able to boot it up through that. And then from there, I was able to map all of the keys to the like controller, so to the D-pad or the thumbstick or whatever the buttons. I was able to map 1 through 6. I was able to map spacebar to like all the buttons that I wanted to, and now it's totally playable on my Steam Deck, kind of thing, like right out the gate. But the
Very
thing is, you
nice.
can do that about a lot of things. I downloaded, and I haven't got it fully working yet. I downloaded a Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos Classic on here earlier, and I was able with the touch screen to be able to get characters to move.
That looked really
Right?
neat.
Right. Like it's because it's literally a computer. Like it takes some finagling, right? Like you got to be willing to like work with it a little bit, but um yeah, it's a cool machine. It's going to be great when I deploy. Super fun when I deploy.
Yeah.
I will say I want to get on the emulation side of things a little bit more, but um, I haven't really dug into that yet. But I've been watching some videos on that. There's an app called EmuDeck that will automatically pre-configure. Like if you download all the emulators you want, you download EmuDeck, it'll pre-configure all those emulators. So if you have the ROMs, you just put them on the deck, and it'll just pre-configure all the controls and everything, so they'll just work. And
Nice.
then you add it as non-Steam games, and you can launch it directly from the gaming mode of the deck, kind of thing. So,
Also, RetroArch already is on Steam, so you can just like put RetroArch on there and like
well, it's also in the Discover tab. So it's
it
just
is, but like you don't even need to use the Discover tab. Is what I'm saying. Like, yes, it is on there, but like if you can just download the Steam version, it's the same version.
well, right, but you're still gonna have to get in the desktop to get the ROMs into Steam to begin with. So like it's either way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, yeah.
RetroArch has a file discovery system. I don't know how it works on Linux, but I know how it works on Android.
Anyways, but beyond that, I actually do think this thing is probably more suited to being an emulator or playing like older games and stuff like that than it is, or just like not super heavy games compared to like playing Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring works as this thing. I didn't even boot it up because everybody and their fucking mom booted it up. Like it's installed on here, but I didn't boot it up and like try it out or anything because like everybody's been doing it, right? Um, I do think this is more suited just because of the battery life restrictions to playing like I have Koromon on here, which is a newer game. It's an indie game, but it's more like pixelated and stuff. I could probably get 5 to 6 hours of battery life out of that. While compared to I played Risk of Rain for like an hour and I went through about half the battery, kind of thing.
Right.
You play
Or
Risk of Rain or Risk of Rain 2?
Risk of Rain 2. And I turned it all the way down. I had to turn everything all the way down because otherwise it was skipping like frames a little bit. Um, which didn't bother me. That's fine. Whatever. Like it's a fucking handheld PC. I don't really care about the graphics a whole lot. Um, and so like I didn't go through like literally half the battery, but I probably went from like 96% to like 56% an hour, right? So you're really only going to get a couple hours of gameplay out of like a normal title like today kind of thing. And I think that's kind of really the drawback from this, in my opinion. Um, but, like, I also have, like, story type games or whatever that I can lay in bed and play, and it's like reading manga before I go to bed. I
Mhm.
can play 'em. I hooked it up to my, Samsung Galaxy earbuds, and it works fine. Like, there's no it like, there's a when I hook up earbuds to, like, my VR headset, there's always a delay, right? While compared to, I hook it up to this, there's no delay or anything like that kinda thing. So, just, like but what it's able to do, like all the random shit you're able to do with it, because it's literally a PC, is just phenomenal. And anybody who likes to tinker with shit and whatnot or whatever is gonna absolutely love this thing. Tim is gonna fucking shit his pants when he starts getting into this or whatever because he's gonna like just be so excited. He's not gonna be able to control his bodily bowel movements anymore. Like
Well,
it's gonna
like
be
the only thing that I wish was doable, and I believe Microsoft and Valve are working on this
Game Pass.
Game Pass, because like you can play Xbox Game Pass through a browser right now, so that'll work. That's fine.
Well, they
That's
they
cool.
actually have instructions on how to play it through the browser for the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
So
no,
I mean,
no. But like you can definitely. What I'm saying is you can definitely do that.
yeah,
But what I
it needs to
would
be
love
gated.
to be able to do is like PC games.
Yeah.
Like the Game Pass PC games, like if I want to play Vampire Survivors through Game Pass,
Yes.
can't do it. Can't do it
No.
right now on the Steam
No.
Deck
Just not
because
cloud
it's
enabled.
not an exe file. It's a different type of file. So there may be a way, but I don't know of it yet.
Yeah, I think that is the one drawback for this, right? If Game Pass doesn't come to this within the next year in some form or fashion, like with a legit app and not just the cloud, what that tells me is that Microsoft is probably planning on making their own handheld for Game Pass.
I don't think they will. I think they're going to be much more likely to partner with another company. They already have a really good relationship with, like, let's say Razer, which is why there's a lot of
Right.
Xbox Razer accessories, or like the Razer Kaiju, for example.
Right.
And there are rumors that Razer's actually already working on a handheld that is basically a Steam Deck. Would it surprise you at all if it's like the Razer X-Boy or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would consider that them coming out with their own handheld at that point. Like, yeah,
Right.
they're partnering with a different company, but unless they bring it to Steam, like that's I don't know. I don't think the problem is I don't think people are going to go out and with Steam Deck being out there as is, Game Pass I don't think is going to be enough of a driver to compete with Steam when it comes one to one, right? Like, yeah, Game Pass is cool, but if I still have to go out and buy a handheld for $350, you know what I mean? Like when I can just play it on my phone or I can play the cloud, like the cloud, like I don't, that's why I just don't see it happening kind of thing. But the other reason I don't see them pairing with Steam Deck is because I think Valve's thing is going to be like, we want X amount percent of any purchases that are made through our platform or whatever, whether that's Steam Deck or not. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I think that's the major hiccup for Microsoft coming to like bringing all their stuff onto this platform.
I
So,
don't
because
think so.
I
Because there's already you can already put through Steam OS all their launchers on there. We're not talking about them putting Game Pass on Steam. What I'm talking about is them making so Microsoft doesn't have to work with Valve at all to do what I'm talking about. They just have
they
to
don't
make
have to,
a Linux compatible version of the Game Pass launcher and then just let their games run through Proton. That's it.
but I just don't see them doing. I personally don't see them doing that. I don't see them doing
I
that.
think I think that it's pretty likely that winds up happening at some point. Otherwise, they're just going to invest heavily in these other Windows-based handheld companies. Like I said, Razer's working on one.
Right.
There's already the One X player. There's the Aya Neo. There's the Ein Odin, which is like an
Yeah.
Android-based
Yeah.
fucking Steam Deck, almost essentially. But it's mostly an
That's
emulation
actually
machine. But you can just
yeah.
play Game Pass on it right
That's actually something else I looked into onto this because I was like, oh, maybe I can play Eve, like the phone version of Eve on here, right? And so I looked it up, and somebody's already put like BlueStacks and stuff on their Steam Deck and stuff and gotten it to work, and it just doesn't run great. Like there's because like you're having to emulate BlueStacks, which is already emulating Android kind of thing, and it's just kind of like a whole like you just end up losing performance. Because I thought that'd be really cool to play with a bigger screen, right? For that instead of just playing on like my phone. Oh shit! As I almost smacked myself in the face. Comparatively, kind of thing. I thought that would be really cool, but it's just not something that's really in the cards yet. But yeah, I just they've done a really good job here, a good enough job that I think anybody who has a Steam library, if they have the funds, should probably have this. If you have a decent sized Steam library, if this is just like a no-brainer for me kind of thing. Especially with all the emulation stuff. I mean I didn't even talk about it. It's got the micro SD expansion. So like I have that. I got a 512 in here, so I have over a terabyte of space in the Steam Deck now, and like there's just not a whole lot that I see can compete with that. For me, anyways, right? Like I have almost 800 games on Steam. Like this just makes all the fucking sense in the world for me. Um, that I just that's I've seen a lot of the IN Neo, but the reason why I never dropped or like jumped on that one is because I think
Expensive.
yeah, they're more expensive for
Oh,
one. Yeah, I
it's like
think they're
$1,400.
yeah, they're at least $1,000, which is
Oof.
kind of and like this was 700 with tax for the high end, right? You could get the lowest end of this for I think it's 350, and you could go out $80, buy your own 512, and just upgrade it if you wanted to get the same amount of storage.
Shit, you can upgrade it. You can upgrade the SSD. You can upgrade the
Right,
SSD and put a
right.
1 terabyte SD card in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. Being able to open it and you got iFixit and this, that, and the other thing. So it's just kind of like, yeah, it just this thing is just a total no brainer for me. I think it's probably the best handheld on the market, bang for buck. It's a miles better than the Switch. Um, just hands down. Like this isn't even close. Especially because the worst part is if you have a moddable Switch, you can just take your games from the Switch and put it on the deck and emulate them, and they'll probably run better. Like, eh, I don't know, man. Like,
Any game that you have bought for, like, I've realized there's something like there've been a lot of games that I bought on the Switch that are indie games that I went on and bought on PC as well because they weren't that
right,
expensive, and I was like, oh yeah, but like even like Monster Hunter Rise, there's a Steam version of it. I'll
mm,
probably buy the Steam version, and I'm like having a hard time getting into it on my Switch. I'll probably just play the fuck out of it on Steam Deck.
yeah, yeah. I re-downloaded Monster Hunter Stories on here because I never finished that. Like
Yeah,
this thing, it just I've been playing games in bed. Like last night, I was playing. All right, so I was playing. I got Pokemon Revolution to work right on the Steam Deck, and I told my wife I was like, "Hey, we got Morbius. We can watch it here at the house, kind of thing. It's apparently bad, so I'm gonna sit here and play this, and we can watch it, kind of, sort of watch it together at the same time. You know what I mean? And it was bad, and so I was really happy. I was playing Pokemon Revolution at the same time with my Pidgey with his ability of Big Peck, which is just, which apparently negates any status effects against him, which is a super funny because
it's out
when it
there
comes
swinging that big pecker.
yeah, dude, like it's just the funniest thing. Also Pokemon Revolution, I just downloaded it the other day kind of thing, but it's on Android, Linux, Windows. I've played it on my computer, I've played it on my phone, I've played it on the Steam Deck, underneath the same account. Uh and it's just very easy to set up. You just download and you make an account and you just fucking start playing. So and it has like a bunch. It has Kanto, Johto, Hoenn. It has like 5 or 6 different regions. So something else I've been playing. But anyways, yeah, Steam Deck, no brainer buy for me. Honestly, I think anybody who even wants a handheld, if you have the funds, it just makes too much sense. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been fun to fuck with. It's been a lot of fun. So I see you got it on here, Justin. Do you want to talk about why we're moving to Wednesdays?
Yeah, I've got a new job, and it's going to be 12-hour shifts Friday through Sunday, and we're not going to be able to do the show on Fridays anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really happy you got a new job. It sounds like from earlier you're talking about you get to basically play with Legos from
It
what you were
seems like it's
saying.
going to be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that sounds like it's gonna be a good time.
Yep.
But yeah. So we're moving to Wednesdays. Wednesdays at 10, preferably because Tim and I still have children that don't like to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's the move for now. We'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Anyway.
see what works.
Yeah, we might have to move things around again. We'll just kind of see what happens. So being flexible. So
So
yeah.
if you need to stay up to date, all you got to do is follow us on the socials. Be sure to
Yep.
like and subscribe. Follow us here, and you'll get all that sweet OLED news as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or you can listen to us on Spotify or SoundCloud. iTunes? Do we have iTunes? I don't
Yeah,
even know.
we're on Apple as well. Yeah. So when I upload to SoundCloud, it puts it everywhere. We used to be on Google Play before Google Play was destroyed.
Oh. Yeah, no, what was I gonna say? Uh Fucking yeah, go start giving us 5-star reviews because I get recommended podcasts all the time that are very bad, but they have 5-star reviews. I'm just like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like these guys don't. They're nothing. I don't know.
They're
Anyways,
nothing.
they are.
These guys are nothing.
Dude,
Brutal.
I get recommended so many bad podcasts on Spotify. It's ridiculous. My mom just can't stay out of the room for an hour. What the fuck?
Hi, Mom.
Everybody's saying hi.
Your dog keeps trying to hump me.
Okay, well,
There's the cold open right
Oh.
there. There it is. My mom just can't stay out of the room for an hour. Hi, Mom. Your dog just keeps trying to
that's too
hump
funny.
me.
all
Put that on a t-shirt.
right. Oh my god.
Instant.
Anyways, well, that's a perfect place to end for tonight. I don't have anything else to talk about. I don't have anything to follow that up with. That was absolutely atrocious.
That was your final thought?
Yeah, it really is. What are your guys' final thoughts? Anything?
Yeah. Sea of Thieves is doing a crazy thing right now. Basically through the story that's ongoing in this live service game, one of the outposts, which is like one of the main hubs in the world, got like ransacked and it shut down. And right now there's an event going on where players are either trying to help rebuild it or keep it locked the fuck down. And based on, there's like a player progression thing, which way it's going, and wherever it ends up at the end of the event is going to determine like one of two paths that will be taken. So it's going to be like a fundamental change for the game map, and it's really exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens.
That sounds actually absolutely amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. Also, I think it is accidentally exited out of the Facebook stream because I went to exit out of the dock and I exited out of all of it. So fuck me. Tim, closing thought, my man.
His hat matches his box on the Twitch stream.
What?
That's true.
Yeah, it's like the same color.
Yeah. Your box Twitch stream, Tim. Twitch stream.
No, I get it. I'm confused. Anywhoozy, I can't wait to get my hands on my new toy and get into the Steam Deck thing myself. Also, since we played the podcast, or since we were doing the podcast, I may have played like 3 more games this week now.
Oh my god.
ADD much. I actually have 2 closing thoughts. One thing I forgot to talk about with the Steam Deck, the controllers or whatever, I was very worried about them not being comfortable just looking at it. Absolutely amazing. I put it in my hand and I went, this feels fucking fantastic. Much better than a
like
Switch.
all the people that were worried about it, I'm like, we're all just so used to putting our thumbs down. But if you look at how that winds up holding on a controller, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have to like hold it with these weird claw grips, the Steam Deck, you literally just move your thumbs this way. Like that's so much easier.
And then moving your thumb down for the trackpad is it all just feels really natural. So, second thing, Sniper Elite 5 has co-op campaign. So if you guys want to download it and go shoot bitches with me in the testicles with X-ray vision, because that's all you do in Sniper Elite.
That sounds like a good time.
It's also good multiplayer. So I mean, whatever.
It has
crossplay. It has crossplay. It's in the thing. You can turn it on or off if you want.
Hell yeah.
So it's in the options. Anyways,
I might not download it. I might just cloud stream it and play it with you.
I mean, you can. I mean, it works. So, anyways, alrighty.
That's it.
We're good.
That's it for
All
us. Right. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
See you on Wednesday.
We'll be here.
10 o'clock. Bye.
Wednesday. Bye.